All right.
Yay!
Hello. Hello. Welcome to Not Quite Novelist. This is the show where new friends are made, literally, and new worlds are built live on the spot each and every episode. My name is Savannah. If you don't know who I am, how did you get here? Tell me, please. I want to
You've
know.
been living under a rock.
Yeah. If you don't know who I am, well, now you do. If And with me
Good.
today, I am so excited for this. Oh my gosh. Emily, hi. Welcome to my show. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm excited. We
I'm
we haven't hung out like this before. This is great.
I know. This is our first time actually being able to sit and chat, not just cry with each other
hmm
about our own characters.
Not aggressively type at each other, like
Yeah,
consistently.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Love it. Love it.
Some amazing person named
Gosh.
Emily said you were pretty cool. Yes.
Ah,
Well, Emily
thanks,
is
Tankoto.
amazing, so I would totally believe her if she says that I'm cool.
Look, it's
uh,
true. I think you and I got along very quickly during
yeah,
the castles and stuff, and
yeah.
I think we fangirled at each other quite consistently. So it's
I
cool to
think
be here. I'm excited.
immediately both of us saw each other's characters, fangirled, and said, "I love her so
Yeah,
much."
I think that's exactly how it went. We're like,
Yep.
wow, look at us just attempting to be wholesome.
Yeah.
What a time
It's
to be
always
alive.
out of everything that was going on, both of us just decided to be sweet little beans.
100%,
It's so good.
100%.
Well, welcome to the show. So to explain what we normally do, and we're gonna be doing something a little bit different, but what we normally do is I usually have these two teacups. They both have a bunch of slips of paper in them. One of them is a
Yeah,
bunch of themes, and the other is a bunch of tones. And usually I would draw
excellent.
them out randomly from here. Um, but here's the thing. I I recently hit Twitch affiliate. If you weren't here last week, I had a whole party. It was a lot of fun. The overlay had a bunch of confetti on it. We had a great time.
It was so
Um,
cute.
yeah,
So
it was
cute.
it was so fun. Sam went all out for that too. I made the joke of
I
what if we
saw
wore little party hats, and she
it
decided
was
I'm
really
gonna get
wholesome.
balloons, a light show. She went extra, and it was so sweet. It really was a party, but during that, I had the idea of oh, if you donate 1,000 bits, you get to choose either the theme or tone of the next stream. Um, that happened almost immediately.
Excellent.
So
Give the people what they want, you know?
yeah, exactly. I'm kind of reorganizing my bits cheers menu now because
Yeah.
I have realized a little bit of the flaw in that because the point is that we don't know what our prompts are before and we just have to make it up as we go.
Yeah.
It has taken me everything not to come up with ideas
Pre-plan.
this whole week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And I realized oh, that's the problem. So okay, I guess I
Yeah.
should but we're still going to honor
Geez,
the
chat, you're the problem.
yeah. We're still obviously going to honor the prompts that were given to me last week. So I already have them
Excellent.
typed up. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pull them up now. Um So, our theme is Rocketeers, and our tone is Green Witch Druidic vibes, which is
Excellent.
a really interesting
That is a
combination.
strange combo.
Yeah, yeah. So, I do want to make sure, because I did Google before, I am getting the definition of Rocketeers correct, right?
Okay,
I don't know
let's
why my
define it
brain is.
then.
Yeah. The definition for rocketeer is one who fires, pilots, or rides in a rocket.
Excellent.
So to go from
Excellent.
rockets to like green witch
to green fairy,
druid,
witch,
yeah,
whatever.
like
Yeah,
druidic
okay, great.
nature vibes. Those are two vastly opposite things.
Very, very different things.
Now
It's the pipeline for me.
yeah, it's an interesting thing, but now we have to figure out a way to like combine them. Eric in
Druids in
chat
space.
almost has it. Yeah, he almost had it right. So like I said, it's been taking. Oh, hydrate. I'm gonna hydrate.
Okay.
Water.
I nearly spat it out, but hey, here we are.
Yeah, so like I said, it's been taking me everything not to like be inspired and start coming up with ideas throughout the week.
Yeah.
But Eric almost has it right. The one idea that I did have was, what if we did like druids in space kind of thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
But so the idea I had was like, what if it was a situation of like, this is like in the future, like a post-apocalyptic, like the planet is dying, but we sent out some like astronauts to go and we know Emily is sipping on nice chilled vodka. Incredible.
I promise you that is not the case.
Oh boy. Promethean, hello. How you doing, buddy?
Promethean, go away.
No,
don't do that. This is not my stream. Stay here, not for me.
Keep him here. Hey, he needs to know he almost made me cry last week because he just popped in, donated subs, and then left.
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
I would be a bad friend if I didn't recommend Rocketeers in some atmosphere. That's valid.
Yeah, so I can't believe... Wait. Did Promethean have something to do with this? If he did, he's fired.
I need to go back and watch the VOD and watch the chat because the choosing the themes and tones was actually like a bit.
He did not. There you go.
Yeah, so I don't think it was pro. I think it was Cookie Mon Steve who chose Rocketeer. Okay. Yeah. My
favorite thing that is like it's an interesting thing, and I've spoken about this before, is that I am deathly afraid of space.
Oh no!
Which is like really funny. Like, I don't know what it and this is some like, look, I'm getting better with it over time. I think like the big thing is not necessarily like the astronauts and the spaceships. Mm-hmm. It's like the giant all-encompassing void that ruins my life.
I completely understand
existential
that.
crises.
I think. See, I'm that way about the ocean. The ocean scares the living hell out of me. I cannot with the ocean. I just it's scary. I don't like it. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no, Cleo.
Oh no. Oh my god. Weird. Okay, little tangent real quick.
Go for it.
I first like when I first joined Castleton, a lot of my coworkers and I will go into like random voices and do like silly like things just because we all have ADHD, so we all just stimming at work and setting each other off. So there was one day after I first joined Castleton where my coworkers started doing like really bad over-exaggerated Australian accents.
I love it.
And this is when I first started like meeting y'all and like talking to so I had to be like, guys, you cannot do this because I'm going to do that accent in front of someone.
I'm talking to Australians.
I know. I was like, guys, my friends are Australian now and I'm gonna slip into this like horrible accent in front of them.
Yeah. It's so funny.
Don't let me do that.
People hey, I will let you do that. But it's like one of my favorite things is like I think what am I trying to say? Words. But I don't know. I've never like overly thought about our accent until particularly being like on the internet now.
Because there's being a lot of Americans who love to.
There is, and so like it's something that I've become far more aware of since being on the internet.
I get
But
it.
hey, like,
Yeah.
if I can't make fun of myself, who's gonna make fun of me?
That's valid. I grew up in Texas, and so yeah,
Mhm.
every now and again my accent will come out and I just start sounding like this and I can't stop it. So
Look, and hey, here's the thing. I do a really poor southern accent on Promethean's Law Rights stream as a character. So
Oh wait,
like
what's your
if
southern accent like? I want to hear it.
I can't do it without preparing. um
I love it.
maybe if we have a break at some point, maybe I'll no,
Do it, you
Promethean,
coward.
go away. No, do you know what? Hey, you know where you can see my my southern accent?
There you go.
All right, when we
Yep,
stream.
yep. I
Hey,
love
drive
that.
the
See, I was
viewership.
gonna say, Promethean is trying to challenge you. Promethean is like, do it, you coward. And
Yeah.
I'm about to be like, hey, donate 5 more subs and I'll make Emily do it on stream.
No. Oh god. Oh,
That's so funny. Oh my god.
It's really bad too. Like, it's not good. But which Promethean had the guts to tell me one time.
Oh,
So
no.
get wrecked, Promethean.
Wow.
But if I'm allowed to do a really terrible southern accent, then you're all allowed to do really terrible Australian accents. I think it's only fair. You know?
That's, you know what? I get that. Yeah. I feel like anyone who's not from America, like, their go-to American accents, it's either gonna be like New York or it's gonna be Texas. There is no in between.
Yeah.
I've heard some
Yeah.
like their default American is like California Valley Girl.
Yeah.
But those are like the 3 American accents that like everybody outside of America defaults to. It's Valley Girl, Texas, or New York. There's 0 in between.
It's because they're exaggerated.
Yeah, true.
And I
oh
think
my god, he
it's
did it!
easier-
No, bro,
Fuck
I was
off,
kidding.
Promethean.
Holy shit!
Fuck off, Promethean.
I was kidding.
Listen.
Promethean, what have you done?
It's such a shame that you slipped and fell and can't get back up. Okay. I hate you so much. This man wants me dead. There's space, there's accents, there's so much going on. Hey, listen.
I can't breathe.
Give me time, okay? We're not going all in on this super quickly. Give me time.
Yeah. Give us a second. We have to get on track here. We're supposed to be talking about
We're supposed to be building stuff.
Yes. Also, DB, yes, I changed my hair. I literally dyed it last night / this morning. It took about 4 rounds of dye to get me from the purple to the rose gold. But I'm glad you like it. It's very like
It's
spring
cute. I like it.
I wanted something kind of like springy, and I like my hair as a blonde, but I didn't feel like bleaching, so. Yes, build international relations and do the accents. I've tried to do like an actual like Australian accent and I can't do it. The only like real like accents I can do is obviously I slip into my own like my southern really easily. I love doing the Valley Girl, the California Valley Girl accent. That one's so much fun to do. I can kind of do like an Irish accent, but like,
hell yeah.
It's I want to see if I can kind of do it.
You're braver than I. I am an absolute wuss.
It's gonna just start with.
Good golly.
I'm scared to read that sentence out loud because I don't think I can do the accent.
Wait, why a sanger? Because a sanger is a sandwich. Do you mean a snag? Is that what you? I don't know what you mean.
Is that what that is? Is that I don't know what a sanga is.
Yeah, so we just like make everything shorter. That's basically how Australian like talking works. So sanger is sandwich.
Okay, is it Australia that calls McDonald's Macca's?
Macca's? Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I was like, which country is that does that? That's wild.
Yeah, no, so
This
it's
is so
actually
cool.
like copyrighted as Macca's in Australia.
Really?
All like the branding says Macca's, everything is Macca's.
Shit, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think we just kind of ran with it, and McDonald's was like, you know what? We can't stop them now.
Australia.
But yeah.
I was on Connor's stream, and
Yeah.
he, during our recording session, he said something like, America is just a mystical fairy tale land to me. Like, he like was like, it feel like it's not real. I was like, we all feel that way about Australia. Are you kidding?
Yeah. I don't know if everyone is aware. We just have collectively decided to lie that this place exists, and you've all believed it.
Yeah. Ask any American and they will say, like, I probably don't believe that, yeah, okay, my mom said the exact same thing. The Tank Hunter Australians are just British Texans.
British Texans?
My mom made that joke to me, and I was like, I'm telling all of my Australian friends that you said that. And then I told Connor, and Connor was like, your mom is right.
We just, like, the trick to doing anything, like, to speaking the same as Australians is, like, shorten the word and add either O or A to the end of it. So, like, servo is a petrol station or a gas station.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because it's a service station, so we just call it a servo.
Okay.
You know, like, you literally just have to add O or A to the end of shortened words, and that becomes how you speak. I don't have other examples for you because my brain's still accepting caffeine into its life.
I love this.
But, you know, yeah.
Okay, well now, so I'm gonna try and practice an Australian accent, and you try and, like, mentally practice a Southern accent, and before end of stream, we will do these accents.
I'm going to throw myself off the building, but that's fine.
The most for an Australian accent I can do. The most I can do for an Australian accent is just the "oh no."
Yeah,
it's the "oh no."
It's so easy to do. Yeah, and I think everyone's kind of seen, like, H2O or I think that's the show that came from.
Yeah, it's the "oh no, Cleo."
Yeah, everyone's like seen the meme.
Hype train. The fact that I got a hype train like 15 minutes into my stream is hilarious.
Killer.
Honestly.
I love that. I love that.
And it just has to
I don't
do
love
with,
the implications of it.
I just have to challenge Promethean to pay me, and I can make my guests do stuff.
The thing I've learned really quickly, I know this is not a stream about us talking about Promethean, but
that's fine.
The thing I've learned really quickly about this human is that, like, he's just as competitive as I am, if not maybe more. And so all you have to do is, like, rage bait him into, like, some sort of a challenge, and 99% of the time, you know, it works.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then it's really unfortunate. Because he plays in my campaign and I will just ruin his life.
Aurora says, obviously it means you need to have Promethean on and find a challenge to make him do next. I will have Promethean on. He is going to be my guest in, I believe, 3 weeks. I need to go double check my lineup. But he will be on. So I have a couple of weeks to figure out a challenge that I can make Pro do on stream. So
I'll find an accent that's going to be really difficult.
Yeah, there
you
go. Emily is allowed to come up with the challenge to make Pro do on the stream. Also, hi Em.
That'll be great.
Hello. It's so easy to get a rise at a Pro. I believe that actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe, like, this man has drank so much hot sauce out of shoes. It's like
shoes?
that.
What?
Yeah, hot sauce shoey is a whole thing that.
All right. Okay.
Has happened many a times.
Insane. I love it. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's try and get back to Rocketeers.
Yeah, let's create some things.
Yeah. I love how all of this just began because you assume that Promethean suggested the space the Rocketeers.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Okay. Yeah. So my first thought with this is I would love to do some kind of like, it's like post-apocalyptic, like the world is dying, but maybe they sent like a team out, including like some kind of gardener with like, they have like a greenhouse on their ship, so that they can go spread some of the like plants to like other planets.
It's giving the 100.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen that show, yeah.
I have a friend. He was on my show a few weeks ago. If you see my episode with Icarian Sons, he and I have been like RPing and like making season stuff for about 6 years now. So
Cool.
we have over 60 active like different stories that we've written. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, a big inspiration for this show in general was the fact that like we'll come up with new OCs like every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And like new stories to tell. And we just write it to each other. So I'm like, I just want to do it
Yeah.
online now. But we have one story that is actually he said BRB about to become very serious for a work meeting. I would love to see Promethean being serious. I don't think I've ever seen that in my life. Okay,
sorry, I've got to go back through the archive.
We have I have one like story with Finn that we have that's one of our like RPs that is it's like in space. It's these like they're not humans. Like the characters that we have are it's the whole thing is set in like another galaxy type thing. And
okay.
His character is like a cyborg type of character. And then my character is like it is kind of like the Green Witch, like druid vibes. He's from a planet where he has like a psychic connection to the plants. So he
That's
can like
fucking
communicate.
sick.
Very, very like male poison ivy energy. Like he can like control the plants. He talks to them. So their like ship has a whole greenhouse basically.
Yeah.
So
that's cool. I like that.
I think the idea of having like characters like that, like maybe there's this it's like a team to basically like colonize another planet. Going and making sure it's like habitable for humans, planting like earth plants to try and like integrate or make sure like test to see if soils are, you know,
it's the rebuilding of a society that people were familiar with before it ended.
Exactly. And I love the idea of them having like this like big ship where one of the rooms in it is just like a containment room that's like a greenhouse. They have like grass on the ground or like clover or something.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of different plants, like specifically like an herb garden or some like a couple of vegetables, things like that. I think that would be cool, and I love the idea of like them sending out someone who's like, yes, they're like a plant person, but it's much more spiritual in nature versus them just being like a plant scientist. They have an actual connection and communication with these plants. Well,
it's not just a job, it's like it's like a part of who they are.
Yeah. I think something that could be really interesting is if once they leave like Earth, they leave like the atmosphere and they leave like the galaxy, there something happens and it's actually like it's like maybe there was hi Misfit. I see Misfit in the chat.
Hi Misfit.
Like, hello Misfit. But I like the idea of like maybe once they leave like the galaxy or they leave some kind of like span of communication with Earth, some kind of like blockage disappears and then suddenly this person is now able to like actually communicate with the planet. Like they're able to talk to them kind of thing. Or it becomes like there's a lot more of it's like a mix between science and magic, right? Yeah. Where it's like they realize like, oh,
I was gonna say, how do you see magic kind of integrating here? Because like the other side of druids is they are magic inclined as well. Yeah. So
it's kind of like one of those situations where I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase like magic is just science that hasn't been explained yet.
I haven't heard that, but that's cool.
That's something like because like in real life, there's a reason my personal socials and everything are called the DIY Witch because I practice witchcraft. And something I love to like refer to witchcraft as just spicy psychology, because it can be, but there is a lot to like energy. There's a lot to like mysticism and beliefs that have been around for centuries that could be that it's it could eventually.
That's so interesting.
But, a lot of magic, a lot of energy work, a lot of these things I believe are just science that doesn't have an explanation for it yet. You see like centuries ago when healers and medicine women and, you know, these people who would use like herbs and make tinctures or potions or whatever, and they were just doctors, they were just healers, like, so, and now we have like an explanation for them, like modern medicine was old-fashioned witchcraft.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
I think that's kind of like, basically in my mind, what I imagine is like they're leaving to go to this, maybe a new planet was discovered, and so they're on their way to this other planet, but as soon as they are out of, like, kind of like out of range, you know how if you go like, you know, if you're like, you take your phone out of the range of your house, your Wi-Fi disconnects, so you use your data. Kind of a similar energy to that, where it's like as soon as that like range, they are out of that range, like maybe the person that shows up on the or that is like the green witch, the druid on ship, hears like a voice, and it's just like one of their plants going, "Hi." It's like, what?
Oh my gosh.
Fuck? That would, first off, that would scare the shit out of me.
It would be fucking terrifying.
That would be like, they immediately think, oh that. God, I'm in the movie Alien, you know? But
oh yeah.
Yeah. One thing I like to ask about this is like, my favorite thing about doing like all this world building stuff is like, okay, we're not doing this for a specific game, but who would your character be? Who would, like, if we were in a game, who would you want to play in this story? Like, what would your character be?
I would totally be leaning more into the druidic side of things, 100%. And I, one of my favorite things to do with characters, is to find a thing that is supposed to be the thing that they're good at, and then make them not really good at it, or scared. Or scared of it. And scared is always funner, I think, because, like, I think if you are innately inclined to be good at something, or, like, supposed to be, and then you're not, it's, like, a lot of your story, it doesn't have to be tragic backstory or anything like that. It's just about learning to do the thing that you're supposed to do. I think that can be a ton of fun. So I think that's kind of what I'd lean into. Or the other thing is, like, particularly when you're adding things like space or Rocketeers into this, is like be the person that is scared of the thing. Like, be scared of space. If I'm scared of space, play a character that's scared of space.
I love that.
So I feel like I'd lean into that too. I feel like, hey, look, you have no choice. Like, the world ended. You've got to go now and explore this new planet that we're attempting to live within, but be scared of that entirely. I think that would be fun. What about you? What would you play?
So now knowing that you would want to play like the druid vibe, like, my energy is, I'm always going to lean towards being like a witch. I'm always going to lean towards having like a magic-y type character, but in this instance, if you're going to play, if you're going to be like the plant nature-y druid person, I would say my character's probably like the tech nerd. My character's probably the one who like is in the control room, knows like the computer side of things, is like the nerdy one that is just kind of sitting behind the computer, controlling the ship and making sure like we get where we're going. So is like not really a plant person, is usually very indoorsy, is like the kind of person who is like, I like the outside from my window, from sitting in my room, because I don't want to be out where the bugs are, you know what I mean? Like, probably is some kind of, see, I am someone who, I love to play characters if they're really good at something, make them put their all into this one thing, make them like almost OP in this one thing, but then useless in another. Like,
I love that, because we're kind of then opposing, which is
exactly
fun.
Because then I love to put them in situations where they either can't use their strengths, they can't just like fix everything. Like, I love playing like a computer hacker, right? The computer hacker type, the one who's like behind the desk, crazy smart. I have I have one OC. She's have this one OC that was like a Marvel superhero story. She was a computer hacker. She ended up being part of a science experiment gone wrong, and now she has a psychic connection to computers and to technology.
Yeah.
So her whole superpower was that she could, you know how like you can just say like, you know, hey Google or hey Alexa or whatever, right? And then tell them that she can do something. She can do stuff like that without saying it out loud, and she
That's
can just
cool.
like like psychically tell, and then all she has to do is
That's
go, like,
very cool.
Yeah, she would honestly. She's a little overpowered. I made her steal a Tesla once. But because all she had to do was put her hand on the handle of the door, and she created that mental link. So she was able to tell the Tesla unlock. She was able to get into the owner's like information. She was able to do all of this.
Be so unsuspecting too, because you don't have to say anything. Like
exactly.
That's cool. I like that.
So I love her, sick. But she's surrounded by all these like physically very adept superheroes, right?
Yeah.
And so all of them are like really strong or really like dexterous or whatever. So she gets put into a lot of these situations where she ends up getting damseled in distress because she's in all these situations where she needs to be physically fit or strong to get in and out of situations. And she's just like, I'm just the nerd behind the desk. Are you kidding? I just want to be a computer hacker.
Yeah.
And that was.
Do you find that when you create like your OCs, because you were telling me earlier how many you have, do you find like that there is one kind of thing that tends to make its way back through all of your characters?
There's quite a bit. There's a few traits that I realize like, oh, this is the same thing that I'm gonna put. I love a Nepo baby character. I love someone who has like comes from like a rich or successful or like very like influential type family, very Fallon.
Yeah.
I also like if I'm doing anything magic or like witch related, it has to be fae or fairy coded in some way.
Okay. Love that.
That one, there's a reason for that actually. Fun little backstory for me is my actual witchcraft practice. I work with the fae, and the reason for that, or at least the fae that are in my life, are very centered around like play and inner child work and things like that. And because I've been like making characters and doing these little role plays and doing stuff like this like my whole life, every time I play a character in a game or I like make an OC in a role play that is fae related, it feels like every session or everything I'm playing this character is a little offering to them. So
cool.
Yeah, all of my magic-y characters are probably very fae coded. And actually, you know what? To incorporate that a little bit into this like very tech nerd spacey character, I think she's like a little trinket hoarder. I think she has like in her like little office or control room, she's got a bunch of little like, you know, there's like a rubber duck or a little like there's a bunch of little like toys and plastic trinkets and stuff like that she brought with her from Earth. Yeah, that's her. Very like Penelope Garcia. Like her office is very like cluttered, but it's also very like pretty and cute, and she's got a bunch of toys and like probably some like McDonald's Happy Meal toys and stuff like that she keeps with her for fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Love that. That's so cute. I feel like we all have like things that we kind of naturally and sometimes subconsciously like weave into the characters and worlds that we create.
I love rich characters.
Do you know what? I've actually only ever played one super wealthy character. And a very long time ago now. Her name was Luna Tarot.
I love that.
And well, her full name was Luna Sol Aurora Tarot.
Good lord.
And I like styled her very much off like, what if Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls lived in like a D&D fantasy world? What would her like, and what would her parents like? What would her parents be rich for? Because it can't be toaster strudel. And so I had that her parents invented tarot cards. And
wait, I love that.
It was a lot of fun to play.
So good. That's
and
fun.
Like her entire thing was that she like grew up very sheltered, and that the
Mm-hmm.
only reason she was going adventuring was like on a gap year.
She's just on
And
her
it
gap
was
year.
really fun. Yeah, it was really
That's
fun. It was a
so
lot of fun.
good. I love that.
Yeah, it
Oh my
was
god,
real
that's
cool.
good.
I
You
give
would
you
love.
permission to steal it.
Yeah. I'm taking that. Well, I just recently came up with not related to this story, but I did just recently come up with this idea of like I want to play or I want to create a pantheon of goddesses, like all female,
Yeah,
all goddesses, right? And it's just a sorority house. Um,
hell yeah.
and just make
That's
them all
cool.
talk with the like Valley Girl accent, and they're all super excited
Yeah,
and like their like temple is literally just a sorority house, so each room is like the
that's
worship room
so
for the
cool.
different purview. Um, all of this started because I had the idea of like, please imagine this like dark and like gritty, serious, hardened, like adventurer type. He's like this very stoic scholar who's been in search of this god of
Yeah,
knowledge and communication and information, right? And after years of
yeah,
searching, he finally finds the holy artifact for this god of communication and information. And he
yeah.
opens a compact mirror and hears, "Oh my god, hi bestie. I haven't heard from the mortal world in so long. So
I
what's the
love that.
gossip? What's the tea?" Yeah. So she's
That's so fun.
XOXO gossip god.
Gossip God. Oh my god. I love taking
Yeah.
those concepts, like those like things that we have either seen or like watched or whatever, and
Yeah.
like integrating them into a world that like wouldn't usually have those types of people. I think that's so fun.
Yeah. Wait, Eric says, sounds like it'd be a fun series for you to do The Crown. Oh shit, you're right. Oh, you're so right. Hold on, I need to write that down so
Quick,
I
write it
remember.
down.
Write that down. Write that down. Okay, yeah, I gotta make a
Yeah.
note of that.
I'm about to be
The
involved in this series, which like I don't think I can say too much about. But it is basically taking the concept of the Real Housewives and
yes,
turning that into like a TTRPG thing.
yes.
With a really cool group of people called Date Dungeon. They're an
Okay,
Irish-based TTRPG group.
fun.
And they run a series called Romancing the Dungeon, which is like started all
Romance in
about them
the dungeon.
looking for
Yes.
love, which was really cute. So yeah,
What's
no,
their channel name again? I'm gonna make a note of it
it's
too.
it's D8 Dungeon.
D8 Dungeon. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really
Excellent.
fucking cute.
I'm
They're
writing that
great.
down. I have a spreadsheet of actual plays that I have not watched or that I need to catch up on or that I need
Yeah,
to rewatch. And I have them all labeled of like, is this a rewatch? Am I catching up? Or am I and I
yeah,
have like I'm tracking like what episode I'm on all of them. It's a whole
yeah.
thing.
That's so
It
smart.
it started because I made a comment about how I wanted to re-listen to Gals and Goblins for like the fourth time.
Yeah,
And I said it in the Gals and Goblins Discord, and one of my friends in that server said, "Don't you have like a bunch of other actual plays you need to listen to?" And I was like, "Hey,
yeah,
you're right, but relax." Uh, and then yeah, I hold on one second. We need to get rid of this.
yeah, yeah. I see,
Go
little
away.
bot.
Go away. There we go. Okay. I gotta figure out how to filter those out before they even show up.
It happens to the best of us,
You know.
unfortunately.
Bye bye. Okay, so
Mm.
onto our Greenwich druidic space explorers.
Mm.
So you're scared of space. So if this story were to happen, would you want to do it like where the story was taking place in the rocket, like on the way to the planet? Or would you want to have this story take place on the new planet? Because we can do it where it's like, oh, let's just build like the new planet that they land on. And my
I
character
love the
just
idea that it's a combination.
okay.
And it's like, and it becomes journeys between.
Mm.
And it almost just yeah, I feel like with the amount of kind of magic and tech
Yeah.
that they would have access to as well, that there could be spaces that like almost like little, it'd be cool if there was some sort of like little floating garden situation that they've like built as like a
Oh.
midway point.
Yeah. See,
Um
I had an idea of like I think it'd be fun if imagine if we were like on our way to this like new planet, this new like
mm,
um place that like Earth, you know, our people back on Earth told us like, "Oh, it's going to be the new space." Um
yeah,
but ended up never making it to that planet and crash landing on a different planet.
that's cool.
Yeah. And
Love
so we end
that.
up like
Love
it's kind
that.
of like cuz we're on our way to like colonize a new planet. It's kind of like how the
Yeah.
story of like oh yeah, Christopher Columbus showed up in America, thought it was India and just decided this is ours now. Kind of
Yeah.
that situation of like, oh, we were on our way to this one habitable planet, ended up like losing course or
Yeah.
something like went
And
wrong.
now you have to replan because like this structured
Mhm.
kind of idea we had
Yeah.
to rebuild this one planet has to kind of be thrown aside and
Yeah. And
start
actually,
again.
so something that could be really interesting is if in that case the new planet is already habited. Like we already have like
Yeah.
some aliens or like some other like people or
Yeah.
creatures or another species living on
People
this
that have
planet.
maybe already done it. Like,
Oh, like you
but
mean
not
other
the
like
way that,
humans. Yeah. Like maybe
or yeah.
humanoid, like humanoid type
Yeah.
people who like centuries ago did it like forever ago, right? Landed
Yeah.
on this new planet and then maybe like I like they've created their own like new culture, there's new plants,
Yeah.
there's new everything. Um but they realize like maybe your character like has this like connection, like can like maybe talk to the plants or like can has this connection to them and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're like one of us." You know?
Yeah.
Something like that
And
could
it
be
could
really
also be
interesting.
like yeah, totally different. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be the guy now that we discussed this pre-stream that goes, hey, can we go to a quick break? Would that be okay?
Yeah, no, that is totally fine. My water is like almost empty anyway, so we're gonna go
Yeah.
take a really quick break, like 5-10 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, like
All
10.
good. All right,
Yeah,
let's go ahead and
sweet.
do 10-minute break. We shall be back. Where's the button? There it is. we're back. Okay.
Yay!
Cool. Yay! We're back. Everybody got your water, your snacks. I have chocolates. So, cool. So, to give a little quick recap of everything that we came up with, aside from the bunch of tangenting about accents and...
Yeah.
And the conspiracy that Australia isn't real.
It's true. I can
so
confirm I don't live there.
So what we have here for our Rocketeers, our druidic Rocketeers, is we've created years into the future in this like post-apocalyptic setting. The planet is dying, and the last of the humans have assembled a team to send them off into space to go and find... So 2050. Oh, that's rough.
Good God.
Oh, that's rough.
Can we pick a year that I won't be alive in? Is that okay?
Yeah, please? Can we pretend that this is not in the foreseeable future? But they have sent a team off to an actual habitable planet that scientists have discovered. Eric goes, oops, 2160. Sure.
Yeah, perfect.
I'll go with 2160. I love it. So finding a habitable planet sent this team out to them, and I think by to just before the break, we came up with the idea that they ended up not actually on the planet that was intended. So they ended up on this other planet that turns out is already habited by at least humanoid type people.
Yeah.
Like, we're not sure exactly biologically the difference, because I feel like something that would be really cool is, like, if they look like people, they look human, but there is, like, there's definitely, like, some differences. We just don't know exactly how different yet, you know?
Well, that's part of this discovery, right?
Yeah.
And the learning to kind of all figure out how this is going to work.
Yeah. And now, so character-wise, the only thing we've really come up with is that, Emily, you'll be our... druid crash landing on the real Feywild. Wait, that's cool.
Hey, that's cool.
Oh,
that's
shit.
Fun.
Yeah, that really combines, like, what we were talking about earlier was the combining of fantasy and sci-fi. And, like, they crash land on what humans would, like... Humans have, like, kind of fantasized and put into stories as, like, what we would call, like, Fairyland or the Feywild. But it's just this other planet. That's cool. That's
fun. That's cool.
I really like that. Yeah, because then we can have like all kinds of peoples and creatures and stuff. We can actually have like you know, very tiny like pixie humanoid type creatures. We can have like
cute
giants. Yeah, it really is like I'm imagining like a fully like a Faerun type of like it is what we would know as Fantasyland, but it's just another. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Oh,
that's cool.
I love the idea of, like, if my character is, like, the nerdy, like, tech person who, like, focuses more on, like, the computer and running the ship and how the ship runs and all of that. I love the idea of she's actually also, like, a total, like, fantasy geek. Like, I love that.
Loves
to, like, read,
because,
like fantasy novels and stuff.
You'd be so tempted to kind of fall into the realm of being, like, skeptical in that kind of a role and not being skeptical and being, like, actually just really, like just enraptured by it would be so cool,
Just, like, this is just like some of my books. Like, it's maybe, like, she maybe has, like, one... kind of like this world's, like, equivalent of, like, an ACOTAR or some kind of, like, big, like, fantasy series that is, like, very popular. That she's like, oh, it's just like the series. It's like just described
like
just
I've read
like
in books.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, my sweet bean.
That's cool.
That's one thing I'm always gonna make a sweet bean little character.
I tend to like. I didn't realize this, but I like now started falling into the trap of making like absolute edgy ass characters like every time now.
That is something like I flip between. Sometimes I'll make someone who's just fucking feral, like just an absolute mongrel of a character, and then sometimes I have to have a Fallon, like I have to have just a little sweet bean, you know, just a little baby. That you just need to protect because they're so cute.
Yeah. No, love that.
What I got.
Love that.
Yeah. Eric.
Cute.
Eric in chat is being a menace. And M making some
Yeah.
edge queens down there.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it.
I
Yeah.
like, when I first started playing TTRPGs, like, Rogue was my least favorite class to play. And now I'm playing, like, 2 of them.
Incredible.
So, love that for me, you know?
Do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
almost exclusively will play Bard, Sorcerer, Warlock. I love a charisma caster. Yeah.
I'm so scared of casters, and have been for a really long time.
Okay.
Just because there is so many, like, I'm still so new, like,
Yeah.
I say, to the TTRPG space, and so, like, trying to track and manage all of the magic side of stuff can be really scary at the same time.
To me, that's why I started with my first character ever was a warlock, and I love playing warlocks because, like, you don't get that many spell slots. It's really easy to track.
Yeah.
And there's not much in terms of, like, you know, combat and damage shit that you can do aside from Eldritch Blast, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you just do what's expected of you as a warlock, it's fairly easy to play and keep track of.
Yeah. Well, I've just started playing a wizard in the Meeples and Dragons Radiant Shadow campaign.
Love that.
Terrifying.
Honestly, spells? Like, wizard intimidates me a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wizard like, intimidates me.
So I, like, the comfort I gave myself was I did multi-class into rogue as well. So, like, I think I'm 2 levels of rogue, which is fun because it means I can, like, do combat as well.
Yeah. It's, I'm so not a combat person. Combat intimidates me. So I
can punch things.
Well, yeah, I'm like, let me just be the cute little spellcaster that, like, stands behind the tanks, stands behind the punchy characters. That's very much I'm
a big fan of a monk.
I would. Characters. I think if I were going to play, like, an actual combat focused character, I think it would be a monk.
Yeah.
Although I would love to play like a gnome barbarian. I would love to play something tiny as a barbarian because I think that'd just be hilarious. I just want to go fully, like, kneecapper on these bitches. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Yeah. My first character.
Well, there's also magic with monks, like, and not like magic, but like there's like shadow monks, like, use shadows and shadowy teleportation, and then you've got the astral monks as well. Like, they're pretty fucking cool.
I love that. So
Tangent.
To our world here that we're making, gonna try to bring us back on topic, but God knows, it's gonna go. There are no rails.
I will take us so far off the rails.
Yeah, I start my sessions with being like, we don't know what's gonna happen, so, like, there's rarely any actual rails to begin with. But so for our world here, I think, well, actually, let's come up with this real quick. Who all is on our team? So we have me, who's, like, the pilot, probably, right? Like, I fill out the Rocketeer side of things, and you fill out the Druid side of things. Who else do we have on our team? Like, how big do you think our team of people is? Do you think they would have just sent, like, 2 of us? Or would it have been a situation of, like, maybe they sent, like, one, like, a mechanic,
yeah,
you know, and, like,
I think that is definitely a necessity, because if anything breaks down, we're screwed.
I work with software. I don't work with hardware. Make somebody else do the mechanic side of things.
So there's that. I think there has to be, like, a small team, right? Like, I don't like, if we're kind of responsible for a pretty significant task, I feel like there has to be a solid team of people to support that. I don't know how many of, like, I feel like more of it would lean into the
Eric got dark in chat. Said the mechanic died in the crash when we crash landed on the new planet. That's dark.
Hey, that's kind of cool, because, like, happened, then we gotta figure out how to leave if we need to.
Oh, that could, like, I feel like when there is the crash land, like, I feel like even though like I'm like, you know, holy shit, this world is just like my fantasy books. Ooh, something that could be interesting. So here's an interesting dynamic that I was thinking about. If my character, despite being like the tech focused, the one who works with the rocket base, if my character is the one who ends up on this like world and is just like, oh, this is just like my book, and is like really loving it and really like not even skeptical, just is immediately just like, this is real and I'm so excited. Do you think your character would be the one who is more like, it doesn't make sense? Yeah, like there's...
Yeah, I think
there
so.
is the earth, there is the thing that exists here. It's not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not what this should be.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So, like, your character kind of journey would be getting to a point of, like, accepting and like, accepting this,
which
like,
would be
new
interesting,
world, this new, like, reality kind of thing.
Because then, like, okay, well, then let's, you know, if she can speak with plants and stuff, is it that the plants and nature on this planet feels wrong, like, or something she doesn't understand, right?
Or
like it's almost a different language.
So what if it's instead of like, you know, they went out of range, and as soon as they're out of range of Earth, you can talk to the plants. What if it's different? What if it's instead, once we get in range of this new planet, that's when that switch happens, and you start like being able to feel like what the plant is feeling, versus just, I can see their leaves are wilting. Like, you can feel an emotion coming from the plant, you know?
That would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
And troubling.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, when you think of, like, the Fae, right? Like, think of, like, stories about the Fae. They are just aspects of nature. They are just, like, nature spirits, right? So you show up, and you immediately have this connection to this, like, nature spirit. This, like, nature energy that's around you, specifically in, like...
Something just like, went to fall, and I had to stop it.
Oh, no! I've had that happen.
It's gonna be fine.
Oh, everything is fine.
Everyone breathe. It's gonna be okay. Panic. It's only 11 a.m., okay?
It is.
So much panic and not a disco in sight.
Yeah.
But...
I love that. So much panic, not a disco in sight. Oh my god, that's great. Hey, listen! Oh dear god.
Okay, we're listening.
Eric is a little menace in chat. I love it so much. I love the idea of, you start like feeling like so like where our ship like crash lands. I love the idea. Gravity Fae. Oh,
Gravity
shit.
Fae.
Yo! Prometheus just out of nowhere just pops in and just Gravity Fae. Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah. No explanation or anything.
Okay, but that's interesting because imagine this idea of like, okay, these are all like, you know, nature spirits. They're all like aspects of nature. If we were supposed to go to a different ship, or a different planet, I mean, what if these like, you know, powerful like Gravity Fae, like Promethean describes, actually like found, like, heard like a signal from our ship, from like the plants on the ship, and decided like they need to come here, right?
That's
and,
cool.
Like, the Gravity Fae are the ones who like went out and like grabbed our ship and caused whatever it was that made us like spin out and crash land on the planet. That's really interesting.
I like that. That's
cool.
Fun.
And maybe it's like they felt like the energy. They felt like maybe like, you know, other ships, other rockets, other like vessels, like have passed by, but none of them had actual like flora. None of them had actual like plant life. And so they felt that like connection, that energy of like, oh, these are people that have like, you know, like spirits like us. Let's bring that onto our planet. Eric says the only way out...
It's a connection to the nature.
Yeah. Eric says the only way out is a deal with them. Here's the thing. I don't think that they want to get out. Like, the point of our story is that we're getting out of our planet. I don't think we want to get out. I think now we're like, okay, well, this isn't our destination. I think the main thing now is, how do we communicate with the people that were supposed to come after us? How do we communicate with those other people and say, hey, we didn't go to this planet that we were, like, supposed to go to. We ended up here instead. Like, come to this planet instead if you're going to follow us. Right?
Yeah,
so I think it's less
cool.
of a way to get out. It's more of a way of how can we communicate to make sure these other people don't go to the wrong place.
Yeah. And
so,
we're not so different, you and I scenario.
Yeah, very much. So then what would this society on this new planet look like? Like, the planet... So my imagination is that we literally just crash landed in, like, a jungle or in, like, a forest or something. Like, we landed...
same. Like,
not
very, very dense, tropical.
Yeah. Not near
mystical.
I'm fully imagining, like, jungle, like, rainforest energy. So I think you and I are on the same page of that. So it would have to be like...
Oh, this is in Australia, Eric? Is that what you're saying? We landed in Australia?
Oh my god, that's what happened.
Adds up, because it's not... Yeah, we're in we're in the most stereotypical Australian landscape.
The other humanoids that find our characters are like, welcome to Australia. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Holy shit. I love that so much. Australia legit, like, seceded from the planet somehow. Made their own.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's crazy. That's so funny. Interesting thought. So, have you ever seen the show Farscape?
No.
Okay. I love this show. I did have another stream. There was an episode I did with Diana of the Rose where we talked about... So our theme was aliens and our tone was carnival. So we did this, like, traveling spaceship. I have a reel that is literally just a compilation of me saying two big tops ass to ass because the traveling carnival...
Yeah.
The traveling carnival, the ship, it's on my... Over here. It's on my overlay. Right here. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's two big tops ass to ass because it's... The traveling ship is two carnival big tops. 2 tents ass to ass. Yep. But I brought up Farscape in that session because Farscape, I cannot recommend this show more. I am usually very much a fantasy person versus sci-fi, but this show is like, it has everything because it is a human. It's a guy who, like, is an astronaut. He got sucked through a wormhole to another galaxy, ended up on this ship with a bunch of, like, other aliens, and it's Jim Henson in space. Like, how do you not love that? So fair. You got, like, the beautiful puppetry. Oh, hi Jen, how you doing? These are the druidic vibe. This is one of your prompts that you suggested for us. So we got druidic vibes with Cookie Mon Steve's Rocketeers. Yeah, so what we're deciding right now, so basically what we've created is we've got, like, the Earth is dying, and we've got a small team of people, an astronaut, kind of computer nerd, a greenhouse botanist, I guess would be your job title on Earth. And then
I'm just
a mechanic.
out here talking to plants, you know.
Yeah, and then a mechanic, and we all get onto this little ship to find course onto a habitable planet that was discovered. But now, apparently, there's gravity fae on this. Yeah, plot twist. This other planet is essentially what we've created as, like, the Feywild, Faerun type of, like, it is what we humans would call Fantasyland, in which there's also plenty of nature spirits, including gravity fae, thank you Promethean,
fae,
who find this spaceship that has other plant life and other energies and pulls this ship into crash landing in the rainforest, in the jungle of this planet.
Which is actually Australia.
which is now actually just Australia as another planet,
Yeah.
which is terrifying, by the way. Every video I see of Australia is just horrifying animals that like scare the shit out of me. Like
Yeah, look,
Australia scares me.
yeah, look, I don't like insects or
Oh, you poor girl.
or spiders, or
I'm so
snakes.
sorry.
The good news is that I don't deal with too many of them.
That's good.
And I have two wonderful cats that will absolutely rid the
Good.
house at least of pests.
Good. Because if
Yeah.
you're someone who doesn't like snakes or bugs or spiders, why do you live in Australia?
Look,
I'm so sorry.
I'd like to defer to my parents for this question. Why? No, look, I'm very lucky. I live in a pretty cool area currently. I'm about to make a move back to my home city in Melbourne, which is, I'm full-fledged planning now, which is really scary. But I'm in Queensland at the moment, which is very sunny, very humid. Lots of snakes, and lots of cockroaches. So many. They're everywhere. It's gross.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate them. I hate them. They're the worst.
I grew up in Texas where there's the phrase everything's bigger in Texas, right? And then I moved to the Pacific Northwest, and no one warned me about spider season here. And so when I moved up here, and the first thing I see was a spider the size of like two of my fists. Ugh. I was like, nope.
No, I hate it.
Hell no. Absolutely not. I'm okay with spiders for the most part, but if they show up unannounced, I have a problem. Like, I didn't invite you into my home. Leave.
Yeah. Hey, did you not realize that you are not invited into this house?
Yeah. You are an unwelcome
you're trespassing.
guest in my house. Yeah. I'm allergic to cockroaches. Oh no, Jen. Yeah, maybe don't go if you're allergic to cockroaches.
Don't visit Queensland. That's where you want to avoid, because that's where the cockroaches are. I don't know if they're the same cockroaches, but they, Melbourne's a lot colder, so like I think they just avoid it there a bit more.
Oh, well, it's good to know. I love that Eric says they need to stay in their damn lane. They do. Speaking of, on this new planet.
That was a really good segue.
Yeah, speaking of on this new planet, what is the first like creature or animal that you think that they encounter? Do you think like we crash, we get off of the ship, and like I think we crash and like we get like separated somehow, and we're both like having to like kind of find our way back to each other. And I think you get led back to me by like the plants kind of giving you directions. I think you meet like the plant spirits, and they're like, you're not from here. You like, you are different.
Let us show you the heckin' way.
Yeah. It's like there's another person who is also not from here, and we can show you where they are, kind of thing. And you get like led to
that's
them.
cool.
Yeah. And then my character, I don't know. Half of me is fully just like, it would be so funny to give her like a full I need to go and feed my kids. Okay, bye, Jen. Have a good night.
Bye.
Y'all are the
I feel like your character would see something first. I feel like that would be cool because I'm already interacting with the plants, making my way back to you. I think you would see something that really drags you into that. This is just like I've read in the books.
That's why I think it would be really funny if she was like a romantasy book talk girly, and she somehow like met like straight up was like this like Fae royalty kind of guy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, like and so my character would meet like the more humanoid like parts of society, like an actual person
Yeah.
on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
whereas you like are talking to the plants. Hi. Oh, Autumn. Oh my gosh, my sister's in chat. Hi, Austie. I love you. Uh, Autumn, that Savannah was brought into a castle. Yeah, yeah. I would honestly.
Instantly adopted.
Listen, if I like, okay, so I have this idea for a for a character that I think would be so funny, is a fantasy like romantasy story,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, okay, human gets kidnapped by the Fae, and it's very like,
Mm-hmm.
ha, we kidnapped you, like you're stuck here forever. There's no use in fighting it or whatever, and the human's just like,
Yeah.
fuck yeah, like they're just
Yeah.
so excited, and everyone is like,
Yeah.
huh? Like everyone's very confused, just like,
I'm
why
so
are you
glad
not
this happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you not scared? Why are you not trying to escape? And she's like, why the fuck would I? Like that's
Yeah. This is
I
way
feel like
better
that's
than the place we could
like,
have made.
are you kidding? Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
that would kind of be my character. Um yeah, that's so funny.
It would be interesting if the idea was to eventually attempt to leave as well, because if
Yeah.
if it comes to like the do we want to leave or do we want to go scenario, like, and
Yeah.
all of these connections have been made, like,
Well, I think it's also like, so what if the point is to, well, we need to try and communicate with our other humans, like the people that we left behind, so that
so
they
they
can
know.
change course. Like they can not go to this other planet we were on course for, but come here instead. Um, I think what would be interesting is if uh, never really got a chance to correct course and like communicate with them. The other people ended up going to the other planet, but
Yeah.
that turned into, I feel like the people we have left behind, they end up becoming like the BBEGs. Like they end up becoming like the bad guys.
Yeah, that'd be
You know
cool.
what I mean? Like we show up on this planet. I think at first it's like, okay, you connect with like nature and all the plants, and I have my fucking cheesy like fan romantasy, like, you know,
Yeah.
Fae king husband energy, right?
Yeah.
And I think at first it'd be really funny if like at first like this like Fae royalty person seems like they're gonna be like shady and like the bad guy. Turns out, nah. Fantasy, like the Fae love nature. We work
They're
in tandem
super
with
cool.
it. Everything on this planet is very in harmony, like with each other. And so it's only when the people from this other planet, like they've colonized this other planet now and they want to now colonize this one, they come here.
I think as well, if they never got like a proper course correction message or anything, they could, like, part of the reason they see this as a negative thing is that they don't understand that it's not.
Yeah, like they think that like we got kidnapped. They think we got like They think we got like are being held there against our will. They think when they show up to like very like
they're the heroes, but they're not.
Yeah, they show up to like colonize and be like, this planet is like, we can take very very like, you know, early Americans like discovering America energy, right? Like showing up and saying like we can teach them how to be civilized or some other like, bullshit, right? It's fucking Pocahontas, yeah. But they show up and both of us are like, we're chill. Like, this place is cool.
Yeah,
like,
this is fine. What's wrong with you? Chill out.
If you assimilate and you actually, like, become a part of the culture and accept the harmony and the culture that already exists here,
we can all learn from each other.
Like, it's fine. Like, we can thrive. We're going to thrive. We're the ones who are outnumbered here. If you, like, y'all are the ones who are outnumbered. And
I love the idea as well that you being kind of like the tech nerd, for lack of a better term.
I think I maybe like kind of like introduce certain technologies to the world. You know?
Yeah, I think you like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, this all is working because there's things we've learned from each other.
Yeah.
And having like this additional group of people show up and not be willing to learn or understand and just more focused on owning land.
More focused on this incredibly outdated belief of like ownership and like needing to have a hierarchy or a leader or
Yeah.
something. And it's like, even like the Fae, like royalty in this world, don't really
Yeah.
see them. There's not a hierarchy. They don't see themselves as above. They see themselves as a part of the flowing ecosystem, a part of the world at hand, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so now interesting question, and I usually ask this like
Hmm.
way earlier on in streams, but I have
Okay.
been so interested in like this
We're cooking.
world.
We're cooking.
But what's your character's name?
Holy shit.
Always the hardest part, right?
That's really tough. I
Yeah.
That's really tough for a very specific reason, and that's
Mm.
because names tend to be the last thing I come up with for my characters.
Oh,
And the
okay.
reason for that is, and the way that I build a character is concept and story first,
Yeah.
species and class second, and then following that I come up with name and the rest of the stuff, because I want the name to be representative of the thing that it
Yes.
is. So
Yeah.
all of my names mean specific things, and this goes for my homebrew world as well.
Yeah.
They all have specific definitions that mean things that, if
I'm
anyone cares,
very.
fucking Promethean's a player. I shouldn't be saying this, but like, if you look up the definition of the
Thank you
things,
for the sub, Promethean. I
there
love you.
there is hints as to what they represent within the
Yeah.
names.
I'm
Um,
very much the same way. I will always look at like, let me look up names that mean a certain thing. Like I've told this story
mm-hmm.
before with Fallon. Um I kind of did like a weird like reverse of this, but I knew that like my purview was gonna be fables. I knew that I was gonna be daughter of fame and
Yeah,
folklore. So I needed
yeah,
to look up names that started with F just to keep the alliteration going.
yeah,
But when I found the name Fallon, I looked up the definition and it meant like superior or superiority. And I was like,
yeah,
the god of fame and folklore would name their kids something like superiority.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, that's
I love
perfect.
that.
So yeah. Had to have
Yeah.
the alliteration going. But
I
yeah,
actually
okay,
think
well
Hexia
then
is the only like example of a name that I didn't put super amount of thought into, and I
really.
did, but like not from a
Not as
definition
much,
standpoint.
yeah.
It wasn't like a what does this mean, and it was specifically I wanted a name that sounded like I wanted a name that sounded kind of like a cool villain for the first name,
Oh.
and I wanted
Yeah.
something really like um soft and corny, and like completely the opposite of that for the
That's so
surname.
cute. I love that idea, actually. That's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, which is
I
how Hexie and Mabel Grace became a thing.
It's so
Like,
cute. That's so
weird.
precious. I love having
Okay,
like
names.
I love the name being very like cool villain, but the character being like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so
Which, like,
precious.
to be fair, like, I was supposed to go on a full villain arc.
Really?
And, like, my entire concept that I pitched to AJ, which this is not a spoiler because I said it in Connecting Castleton,
Yeah.
was that my character was going to be the woman scorned and to like murder
Oh,
Promethean's character, but frame someone else for it.
damn.
Um,
And
and
yet you
then,
married him and became stepmother to a seal?
well, like the entire
Not even
thing that
stepmother,
like
you were
hinged,
Percy's mom.
yeah, and the entire thing that
So
hinged
cute.
on that storyline was like, I never got, I got this letter back from him that was like, nah, go away.
Oh wow.
And then we found out that he didn't send it, and I was like, well, how can I be the woman scorned now? Like everything that I've believed
Mhm.
is not, So
That's
yeah.
so cute.
Okay,
That's so
names.
precious. Well, so all right. Well, then instead we can circle back to the name. What does your character look like?
Ooh. I
Yeah.
think to know that we probably need to know, like, are we all humanoid? Like, are we all like
So
basic humans in our little society?
I feel like we are because this is
I
future
agree.
human or this is future Earth, right? So I feel like at the very least, I love the idea of you, like your character specifically, having maybe like weirdly enough having like a common ancestor with the humanoids on this new planet. And that's why like
Yeah.
that's the real energy that these like gravity fae felt, and so like kind of pull you in. So you
Mm.
have like kind of like chosen one energy story arc kind of going on. You know what I mean? Like very
Excellent.
like how did you end up here? How did you end up there? And so it's very like you have a common
Yeah.
ancestor with these humanoids on this planet. So
Yeah.
I love the idea of like you are, you know, you're human. You grew up on Earth. You were born on Earth. Your whole lineage is on Earth. This was like centuries, millennia ago that you had,
Yeah.
you know, another person. But the idea of like you are human, but there's like the reason you can feel these plants is more like you've got something in your blood, you know.
Yeah. I
So
like that. Because then it's not like, I like that because it ties into the this is what I'm supposed to be good at. Which
yeah,
is what we
yeah,
spoke
yeah,
about at the
yeah.
start.
I love
Um
that. I
yeah.
love this because I'm just giving you exactly what I would have given a character in like if I was in playing that character.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that
um
we've gone like the opposite to likely what we would usually play.
yeah.
Like I feel like this is the like definitely the you kind of a geared character.
Yeah.
And I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
yeah.
would usually be more inclined to play the opposite.
I love it.
Um I don't know. I feel like if you're human and you've come
Mhm.
from a long line of ancestry, there's then got to be some sort of a thing like a
Yeah.
birthmark or something involved that just
Ooh.
kind of like represents this ancestry.
Maybe you have like
And not
it's a
necessarily.
normal like birthmark, but you have it like on like you know on your leg or on your like ankle or
Yeah.
wrist or something, and it's like in the shape of like a clover or something. I think would be really
Yeah,
cool
something like
if we
that.
want to bring in
And
like
I
kind of
think the
fey like
rest.
almost leprechaun vibes.
Yeah, and I think the rest of her appearance would actually be um like nothing too outlandish. I think it would be
Okay.
like, I feel like she'd have short hair because that makes more sense.
I
Going through
love a short
space and
hair.
shit
Let
like
me
that.
let me tell you, every single femme character I play or that I create to
Mhm.
write, every femme character is gonna have short hair. Every masculine character is gonna
Mhm.
have long hair because I love a man
Love
bun,
that.
but I love a pixie cut on a girl. So
I love a pixie cut, big
yeah,
fan. I feel like pixie cut vibes is the
obviously,
way to go. I
yeah.
think, yeah, cute.
Clearly, I love short
I
hair.
feel like I instantly picture brunette. Um,
hmm
I instantly picture like olive complexion.
Ooh.
Um, and I think here's
I'm
the
sorry,
interesting thing, right?
Eric in chat meant to say very plain chick, but what he wrote was very plain chicken. Uh,
Chicken. Yeah, look,
no,
you gotta season your chicken,
it's
guys.
just plain chicken. Yeah, don't have plain chicken. Season your chicken.
Don't boil chicken.
That's my yeah for
Um,
real. That's my PSA where I look directly into the camera for the stream is season your chicken. Yeah.
which is hilarious. I'm a vegetarian. Season your chicken, guys. Like, um,
So
but
good.
I feel like here's the interesting thing. Like, I think a lot of people think about druids or like nature-driven characters and instantly kind of think um of a specific clothing type, but we're in space.
Mm.
And so it also has to be, it
Hello,
has
Matt.
to make sense.
Matt's comment is if something died for it, you have a moral obligation to season it properly. You're so
That's
correct.
correct.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm pinning that because that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's great.
You're completely correct. You have a moral obligation to season it. Yeah. I love it.
I feel like as well.
So so dress wise, like
I
yeah, because you think like druid, you would probably think like kind of on the hippie side of things. But
yeah,
if you're a botanist, would you come at it from more of a like a scientific perspective? Like, are you wearing like
I think so. I think so.
okay,
I think that makes more sense. And I
yeah,
also think like, we're about to attempt to land in a place that we don't know what it's gonna be like.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's almost like there has to be a level of protection as well.
I love that.
Yeah. So
I
I don't know.
I meanwhile, I'm like going full opposite. I'm thinking like very, you know how like have you ever seen like NCIS? There's Abby who's got like is the
Yeah.
full like goth, whereas everyone else
Yeah.
is like kind of corporate vibe. And on the flip
Yeah.
side, you've got like in Criminal Minds, you've got Penelope, who's very like colorful and whimsical and
Yeah.
silly, and but she's also like the one
Yeah.
behind, you know. I kind of want to be like the quirky kid like among all the more like serious like scientific
I love that.
minded type of people. Like yes, she's got like
That's
her
cool.
spacesuit, but she probably like added her own patch, you know, to the
Yeah.
spacesuit that has like a little like one of her own like little drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
She's got like she does that to hide her sadness and depression though. Hey man, shut up. Don't
Hey,
don't
listen, let's
first
not
off,
get too real, okay?
yeah, exactly. Like I've got shelves of trinkets back there. Don't call a
Yeah.
bitch out like this.
How dare.
There's a reason I relate to this character.
Yeah, excellent.
so
Excellent.
It's
We
so
always
funny.
inject a little bit of ourselves, right?
Yeah. So no, I think she's definitely got like she probably I was talking about Penelope. I know you were. I know there's a reason that I relate to Penelope from Criminal Minds. I love her. There's a
Gosh,
reason
Eric.
for that. God.
Yeah.
So I think my character is very much like she probably does have dyed hair. Like she probably dyed it like like a bright neon green, but it's since like grown out, so she's got like the like her like blonde, like dirty blonde roots coming in.
Love
but
that.
she's got like a neon green like at the ends that have now faded to like a cool like mint lime kind of situation.
Yeah.
I think she wears her hair in like space buns, because she's like,
I love
we're in
that.
space. Obviously, I'm gonna do space buns.
I love how I can see this as the like romantasy novel character as well. Like this kind of
I tried to go
that.
full like I also think like if she's going to meet like the nobles, right? Let's say they do have like very like fantasy fantasy like royal nobility. So they're going to have like the noble like ball gowns and very like royal looking dress. I love the idea of getting taken to this like royal castle, getting dressed by like the handmaids or whatever. Seeing this like floor length ball gown and going, I'm 5'2". I can't wear floor length gowns, and then just taking like some scissors and shortening it. Yeah. I love the idea of like just her like taking scissors herself and shortening it. So it's all like choppy and piecey, but it turns almost like ballerina tutu energy. She is the type of girl who wore Converse to her prom. Like that's the energy that's happening here. Yeah.
Listen,
I love this
talk
girl.
me out of wearing Converse at any point in time. Like
for real. I am talking
do
from experience. I used to have like the knee-high Converse too. I remember my senior year homecoming dance, I wore this like strapless pink dress, but it was so boxy it came out, like the skirt came out real poofy.
Yeah.
But it was so boxy it looked like I was just like a weirdly wrapped Christmas present. It was hot pink, and I wore my knee-high Converse, and it was awesome.
I love that.
It was so cool.
I love that so much.
I wish I had pictures.
That is
I would
so
post
fucking
it.
cool.
Because it was so
I was gonna say, like, if you dig them up,
if
let
I can,
me know. I want to see
if
them.
I find any, I gotta go through my mom's Facebook. But if I find any, I will post them. But that's the kind of energy I'm imagining for this character, and I feel like maybe you're getting led. Like, imagine like I get found by this like nobleman right in the fucking jungle, and they take me to this like like a beachside castle. It's very like it goes like from the like rainforest like jungle to this like beautiful probably like pink sands beach,
Yeah, nice.
And yeah, I think like the like everything is like just slightly off in hue, but like in a very like trippy psychedelic but beautiful kind of very fairy
Yeah.
energy wise. So I think the beaches are all pink, um, which kind of gives
I
the
love the idea
ocean
as well
like
that it like makes us kind of go, wait, hold on.
yeah,
Are
it's like
we alive? Are we dreaming? What's
yeah,
happening?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. And I love the idea of like you're lost in the fucking jungle and suddenly you start
mhm.
feeling like you feel like a branch kind of push your shoulder in a certain direction. So you start moving in that direction.
Yeah.
And then like you have to stop and you start like feeling thirsty, but you look over and you realize that there is like a wilting plant on the side of the trail and so you're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
let me like
well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I love that the concept that we came up with is also the emotion side of things.
yeah.
So it's kind of like a game of like hotter and colder, where it's like, yep, okay, you're getting warmer.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and I think that's kind of cool from like an emotive standpoint.
So this is I have a lot of very weird stories of like things
Okay.
that have happened just because ever since I started practicing witchcraft and practicing the type of
Mm-hmm.
magic that I practice in real life, weird shit just
Yeah.
happens to me. This
Yeah.
is one of those stories that could be like a coincidence or could be perception, but it has
Yeah.
happened enough times consistently that like I don't think it's a coincidence anymore.
That you're
But
like, it can't be a coincidence. It's
yeah,
happened too many times.
there's
Yeah.
a
Okay.
certain
Love that.
there's a certain spot that I always go to where like
Mm-hmm.
it's like a little picnic spot by a river where I go when I just want to like meditate and I want to connect to like the fae and
Right.
nature energy in my life. And one offering that you can give to the fae that if you ever study them is music. They love music, they love song, because they love play
Cute.
and dance. And the thing is, I'm a singer. And so
I didn't
whenever
know that about you.
I do sing. Yes, there's one video on my personal Instagram of me doing karaoke. um, but
Okay.
yeah, so I have a short selection of songs that I love to like. If I'm alone out in this like little spot, I'll just start singing.
Yeah.
But the first time I did it, and then subsequently the next like several times after that, basically what
Yeah.
happens is that I'll just be like singing this little song to myself, and then every single time without fail, the wind kicks up while I'm singing, and the way it hits
That's
like the
so
trees,
cool.
the way it hits the trees and the leaves and everything. If you imagine and perceive it in a certain way, it almost sounds like applause. And
That's
so
so cool.
but it happens every single time. Every time I go, there's a certain few songs that I like to sing while I'm there, and it
Yeah.
happens every time. And so to me, that's kind of my way of like communicating with them. So sometimes I'll go, and
That's
there's a couple of
cool.
there's a couple of like picnic tables around this area that I go to. So if I'm walking to
Yeah.
one, sometimes I'll feel the wind hit me, and like the wind is blowing in the other direction. So I start walking in the other direction, and then the wind dies down. Like,
You're like letting it guide you. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So this
That's
is
so
kind of
fun.
this is like what I am imagining. Again, I told you I'm giving
Same
you
thing.
everything that I would give this character that I would play myself.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of that like the first time it happens when you feel like a branch like hit your
Yeah.
shoulder, you're like, hey, what was that? But
Yeah,
then
what the
like
heck is going on?
the second time it happens, you're like, oh, do you
This is
guys
not a
want me to walk
coincidence.
this way?
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like it becomes like kind of a discovery situation. Um
Yeah.
and I love the idea of like at first like you show up to this castle, right? Like you get pushed by these
Yeah.
plants. You're like, what the fuck?
What
end
is
up
going on?
leaving this jungle and seeing a whole ass castle on the beach. And then
Yeah.
getting to the castle, and then you hear probably me
You're just like living your best life.
yeah, I'm having a great time. I'm in a full-on ball gown that I can clearly see I took to with like they don't have
Yeah.
scissors, so I took a dagger or some shit to it and I like just kind of like
Yeah.
cut it up. And you hear me going like, "Hey, you made it! Like you're
Oh
okay."
my gosh. I love that. And I
so
feel like
funny.
it would be such a fun
Yeah.
like reunite scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what do you do with that? Like,
yeah, what do you mean? Like this person who has probably become like
I
one
left
of your
you
best
alone for like
friends.
barely any time.
Yeah, it's like
And you're like,
it's been like a day maybe. Like it's been like
yeah, yeah.
I love
Who
that.
are you?
I love this
Guys,
so
what did you do to
much.
my friend?
It's so funny. I like yeah, this person that like you've been on this like enclosed spaceship with for God knows how long.
Yeah.
You've probably become like best friends at this point, right? Like you get
Yeah.
really really close and you start like and then you crash land, you get separated.
Yeah.
Like one of you is panicking but talking to plants, and I feel like
Yeah.
you find a lot of comfort. I feel like there's a lot of like comfort in like the plants will like if you feel like hopeless, like you lost the people in your life, the plants are sitting there. Like one of them will like do like a there on your shoulder, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
And
feel
then
like as well, what would happen is like on this like reunite meet scenario
yeah
where it's like, hey, hold on, I left you for a day, but then there's like this weird kind of flashback that happens where it's like every time I saw a romantasy novel like on like your desk or bedside table, it's like
you're like you would
it
like
makes
you
sense now. Yeah. Actually, you know what?
would.
You would.
That this tracks for you.
Yeah.
But I love this because okay, hear me out on this. I know Eric went dark
Okay.
and said that the mechanic, the third person on our ship, died. I think the third person on our ship, I think it's a man, and I think he just went missing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just
so he's not dead. We just don't know where he is.
We don't know where he is. So I think what happens is that he gets lost. He doesn't have the connection to the flora the way that you do. He didn't find another person.
He's just wandering aimlessly, trying to fucking figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and so I think he is the one who finds the crashed ship. And I think he spends like God knows how long fixing it.
Yeah.
And
I also love the concept that maybe he thinks that he's like the sole survivor. Like
he thinks that we're dead. Cool...
Yeah.
So then imagine like, imagine this like, years down the line, we've fully like very like the Pevenses from Narnia, like very like we've assimilated, we've become a part of this life, like I have my romantasy fucking fae husband.
Yeah.
You've got like you probably have started like have a full like garden area like on the castle grounds too, where you can now like...
And I feel like I would find like the me of this place, right? Like the equivalent to the me of this place.
I think you found like an actual like druid circle, and so they're the ones who teach you like what is druidry, whereas you can teach them about how to really like study the science of the plant, right? You can teach them about how to study like down to the molecular, like down to the structure, the biology of the plant itself. Whereas they teach you how to hone your like communication skills and treat them like creatures versus
how to respect the plants.
Yeah. And so we've fully like have created like a life here for both of us, right? I think I kind of incorporate like teach them how to teach them like about different tech, teach them about like how to harness like electricity into like gadgets
and also how it can benefit the way that they run everything, like how it doesn't have to be intrusive and like
I think we've probably created some kind of like biotech situation. Like now this is like years down the line we have created like a biotech centered like thing, how to create like renewable like energy sources, all of this shit, right? Like we've truly like changed the world, but also like fully assimilated culturally. And then the people from the other planet, the colonizers show up. They end up finding the mechanic. He thinks that he's the sole survivor. And he's
just been out here castawaying this entire time.
Yes, the whole thing. And when they finally find like the kingdom, I feel like there has been times like we've sent out search parties, we've sent out like people, like other creatures, other like there are like
we've been like Gravity Fae, listen out, please.
Yeah, Gravity Fae, the other plant Fae, like, hey, if you find this man, like, tell me so I can try and find him. Like, this is, while you and I have kind of become sisters on this journey, that's our brother. Like, where the fuck is he?
Yeah.
But he doesn't realize that it's us looking for him. So when he finds these, like, search parties, he thinks they're hunting parties. So he's hiding in fucking caves and shit like that. Like, he's fully, like,
he's
gone
like,
full
stay
survivor.
the fuck away.
Yeah. So it's a fully misunderstanding. And when the other, like, planet people, the other humans come and find him.
This is cool.
And then they come then and find, like, this kingdom and say, like, hey, basically to show up and say, hey, we're taking over your planet. He sees us. And both of us are like, you're alive?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
It's like that Spider-Man meme where the three of us are standing in a circle, like, what is happening?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Oh my god, that's so good. Yeah. Oh my god, this is so fun. I love this so much.
This is cool. This is cool.
Yeah, because then, like, story-wise, the plot, the story, isn't even us learning about the planet. It's not even us having the, like, romantasy love story or finding, like, your family on this new planet in this druid circle. The story itself, the plot, happens years after that when we've already... When we're fully in the culture, we are actually, like, people that belong here.
We're just part of this place now. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. That's so interesting.
That's so cool.
I love this so much. Oh my god. This is so fun. Yeah. I feel like also my character has, like, a workshop that's, like... I become, like, this, like, cool, like, inventor kind of person who's, like... Yeah. I've got a full workshop that is, like... has a big, like, bay window that looks out onto your, like, garden. Yeah. So a lot of the times I'll, like, open the windows and be like, hey, I need that one, like, herb that you came up with. I think it'll work for this, like... Yeet! Yeet! Thank you! Yeah. Yeah. Like, I fully have become, like, you know, the queen regent over the, like, people, right? Because I've got my it's like a fun little husband. Montage. Yeah, no, the full, these different stories that we have are, like, montages, and then it's, like, you know, 10 years later, and like, we find...
how it all goes wrong.
Oh, it's so good. It's kind of like seeing, like the musical Into the Woods, where it's like, oh, Act 1 ends with everybody having their happy ending, like, getting their fairy tale, but, like, that's only Act 1, you know, like... Yeah. The real story...
It all goes downhill from here.
Yeah. The real, like, meat of the story happens in Act 2, and so, like, I think that's kind of what's happening here, is, like, the first Act 1 is so much happens in Act 1, which is just, you know, our planet is dying and we leave. We crash land. We discover that it was fucking Gravity Fae. We discover all the other Fae that are happening
fucking
here.
Gravity Fae. They're out here, like, you know, I want to say ruining lives, but they didn't. They made it better.
Yeah, they did. They brought us where we belonged, because they recognized, like... that there was a pull from us, whether we didn't know or whether we knew it or not. This is so cool. Okay. Oh, this is so fun. I love this. Okay, so what do we think? I also want to kind of name the third guy too, like our poor castaway guy. I feel like
he's got the most mundane name. I don't know why. His name is
Mike. I don't know why I want to say his name is Mike, but it is. He's Mike.
Yeah, cool.
I want to look up what the name Michael means, because that would be so funny if it actually meant something interesting. Name. I know it's got to be biblical of some kind, but, like, I just want to know what the name Michael means.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question.
Origin. The name Michael. Good. The name Michael is of Hebrew origin, and it means who is like God or gift from God. Oh no.
He's a villain.
Mike's
a bad guy.
I think, like, Mike, like, first off, he thought that we died. He fucking mourned us. Survived on his own forever. Thought that all of our search parties were actually hunting parties. Did not know that we were alive. Gets rescued by the humans that he left behind, because that we left these people behind. Gets rescued, told that we're going to take over this planet. Shows up, sees us alive and thriving and living our best lives, and I think he gets pissed.
Yeah.
I think
he's like,
I think
wait,
he's
I
still
was supposed to do this too.
Yeah, I think he still believes that we never looked for him, that we never like tried to find him, and we're like, we did for years. We never found
we
you.
thought you were
like
dead.
We
like,
literally we
settle
mourned
down,
you
Mike.
as much as you mourned us. You know what I mean? Like, why didn't you just talk to someone? He's like, I thought they were hunting me. Yeah, I do think that this is a story that would like the conclusion or the like. It's not a matter of like. We have to now defeat him because he's a villain and we have to kill him and it's a really tragic thing. I think it's no, genuinely it is once he actually hears one of us say like, we did look for you, it just becomes like a matter of like, okay, if you just communicate
everyone's
and talk about
crying.
it, it's like, oh, okay, everything's fine. Yeah. It's a lot of like, it becomes a family reunion and then we have a therapist at the castle. Like there's
Hey,
we have a royal therapist. Yeah. Just like if we have like a regular royal doctor, we have to have a royal therapist too.
Absolutely. Mental health is important. Got to take care of those brains.
Yeah. Well, especially like I feel like that would happen once you and I start like really assimilating. One of us is seen in our respective like whatever a new like living situation is. One of us gets caught just like crying to ourselves because we're like, even though it's really good, even though everything is good and thriving and happy, I still left my home planet behind. All of everything I knew before is behind me. Even though it was bad, I still left the good things too. I don't know where this one
and like, what
guy
about
is
your
that's
family?
Like, I don't know where fucking Mike is. Like, I miss him. I miss everybody else. And it becomes a whole... And so, having to teach these Fae peoples the concept of mental health because... everything here is so harmonized and so in sync and like they haven't needed it because they don't have they haven't needed things like they've never experienced something like true like what depression is or anxiety or like
they're like depression, never heard of it.
They're like what do you mean you're sad and you can't control it and you can't do this normal thing to make you feel better? Like what does they have normal emotions but they don't understand the concept of true like mind chemistry altering like mental illness like depression. And so they have to explain like it is an illness, it's a sickness that affects the human brain. It affects our brains, not in the way that it affects yours. So they have to like create
you guys don't understand
therapy
to invent therapy like, just for these two humans.
Educate and invent therapy.
Love that. Hey, listen, so therapy's healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that's so beautiful.
That's so cool.
See, now I'm trying
Obviously,
to imagine...
we win in the end. Like, we beat the BBG, or they learn that we were right and that they should have listened to us.
Like, I think it like is a matter of they spend like some time in what our like royal dungeon is, like what the like jail system is here, but it's actually like reform system. Like it's not. It's all very focused on like education and like giving people second chances and reforming and teaching them how to.
Everyone deserves a second chance. You know?
It's so funny.
Maybe not Mike, depending on how far he goes.
Yeah, poor Mike. I do poor feel Mike. Like this situation with Mike is very much like we just talk it out, and it's like he realizes like, oh, if I had actually like talked to a person,
if I had literally anyone and stopped hiding in a cave, would be fine.
Oh no, like, if I talk about my feelings, things get worked out.
Yeah, strange about that.
The immediate panic of like, oh no. What a concept.
Yeah. Love that.
Alright, I'm trying to think of what my character, like, what is the true underlying, like, the meaning? What is the thing I want to be her, like, her actual, like, vibe? You know what I mean? So, like, what would I want her, because I want to know, like, what name I want to give her.
I think I've landed on one.
What do you have?
I think I've landed on Kala. And
Hella.
I've picked that because it's a type of lily that exists, because I feel like all the names would like relate back to botany.
Yes. Yeah.
But the calla lily specifically is like a cup-shaped lily, and it gathers water.
Yes.
And I feel like it's that thing of like just kind of taking what comes, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
And letting it enrich you,
Yeah.
Like,
that's gorgeous. Oh my god, I love that.
hey,
I actually I think I landed on one as well. Because I decided, because okay, her whole thing, yeah, she is very like, she is the techie computer nerd. She's the one who's gonna like become like the inventor, right? But her whole arc was just that she got her romantic plot. And so I was like, okay, let me choose a name that's actually more like romantic in nature versus something that's like, has to do with like her tech or her like hobby, basically. And I love the name Karina because apparently it means beloved or loved one. Which I think is beautiful. Carina. I think Karina is beautiful. Yeah.
I love that.
Karina and Kella, that's so precious, and I'm obsessed with them.
I love that. That's really cute.
Karina,
and we both
Kella,
have
and
like
Mike.
K's C names. Like, that's cool.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. I love this. Oh, this is great. I think we've come up with some really, really cool shit here. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy with them.
I feel like this is like, this is cool. And do you know what's funny? Like, opening this and being like, I'm scared of space. And then, like, working through this with you has been really nice and therapeutic. I like it.
Good. I'm glad. Well, we're at we're like a little bit past the 2-hour mark. And I feel like we've created like a lot here for us to like, let's go ahead and just, I'm going to give our little recap of like what all that we've created here.
I want to hear it.
So, okay, I need to get really good at like not putting in like the ums and the filler words. I want to do like full like movie trailer where I'm like,
all the time.
In a world where, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
in a world not unlike this one.
Yes. Unfortunately, our planet is dying. But that does not mean that the human race has to die. And so in this story, what we've created is that humans, what is left of humanity, has actually discovered and found a planet that is habitable for humans. And so what they do is they are able to assemble a small team of just 3 people, a botanist, a computer technician and pilot, and a rocket mechanic, and send them on a mission to find or to ensure that this planet is habitable to humans. And on their way, unfortunately, what they encounter is a different planet that the inhabitants of that planet are a little different, but not unfamiliar to humans. But what happens is a spirit of some kind, its gravitational pull has a will of its own, and so it's able to grab this rocket and pull it down onto the planet itself. And this ship crash lands, separating all 3 Rocketeers in this rainforest jungle where they quickly discover it is what we would actually read in fantasy novels, play in a D&D game, see some kind of fantasy element to it, in which all of these fantasy things in books and fiction on our world is actually real. And these 3 separate plot lines crack me up so much. We have Kella, who is left in the jungle alone, but is able to navigate and find her way to her friend Karina with the help of communicating with the plants around her. And leading to out of the jungle, which is onto a beautiful pink sands beach, where she finds a whole ass castle, and hears her friend yelling from the balcony, "Hi!" Where
so
she
cool.
is found and fully had her romantasy fall in love with a Fae royalty moment, and has a Fae husband that we have left unnamed, but God knows I'm going to name him and come up with their love story, and I'll text Emily about it later.
Excellent.
Because why not? And then poor Michael, who is left alone in the woods or in this jungle, with only the ship, does not understand that for years we send search party after search party. We go out on our own, probably. Go for it. Oh.
Let me grab something. This never really happens until daytime changes. What do you need? Okay. Let me grab this box. Give me 1 second. Keep trailering me.
Yeah. I love this. This is so good. Oh boy, this has been fun. I'm so happy with this stream. I'm fully thinking about all of the, fully thinking about naming everything and naming the world and everything now too.
Hey, real life sometimes has things that happen.
It happens. I get it. It's
we love
all
that
good.
for us.
We're chilling.
Me shooing them away. Go away. Go away.
What are you doing? Yeah. I have a light, like one of those little like battery like push lights that I stuck on my bedroom door. So when the light is on, people know that I'm on camera. They know that I'm streaming.
I should do that. I'm just not used to living with other people at the moment.
I get that. Yeah. Where did I leave off? Oh yeah, poor Mike. Poor buddy.
Poor Mike.
Left alone with the ship, trying to fix it, not realizing that the parties of humanoid, fae, and creatures, and maybe plants as well, that are after him are not hunting parties, but search parties sent by his friends to try and find him.
Please.
But instead he is found by the humans that were left behind on Earth that did end up going to the actual designated planet, and have come here to fully just try and take over and colonize our now home planet that we've created.
Terrible people.
Yes. But, they get defeated in the most, like, in the most, like, hippie way. They get, like, caught, finally subdued, and then sent to, like, reform school. Yeah.
They have to tend to all the plants.
Yeah, oh my
That's
god, yes.
Their punishment.
Yeah, they become, like, your like, almost like farm workers to help, like, tend and raise the new plant life, the new food. I love this.
Yeah.
I'm so happy with this story, Emily. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
It's so cute. This has been so fun.
Yeah, this has been an absolute blast and a half. I'm gonna say,
and it's just been so nice hanging out with you.
I know,
in a not chat-based capacity.
Yeah, and also not in a like, hey, we are getting ready to do like a Castleton thing, so we're on a time crunch kind of situation. Like, we're able to just like sit and chat and hang out. Where can people find you on the internet here, Emily?
Listen, great question. They can find me in a lot of different places. I run a cool little channel called HexesandVexes, which is just a passion project of mine. That's been a lot of fun running my first campaign over there in a homebrew world. And when I'm not there, you can find me over on the Lawrites or Meeples and Dragons, in a couple of other places that I don't think I'm allowed to talk about yet. So,
but we'll see soon. So.
Yeah. It's been fun. Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast.
All right, and on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and find somebody to raid. Let's see. Who's live right now? Emily, do you want to find someone to raid for us?
That is a great question.
Yeah. Let's
find out.
What are we gonna say to whoever we're yelling at in this raid?
Right. Hey, Brittany Fenn's live. I don't know if you're familiar with Brittany Fenn, but it's Brittany_Fenn, who did some of the music for Castleton.
Is it? Hold on. How do you spell Brittany? Because there's a million ways to spell it.
It's BRITTANY.
Okay, so the normal way.
Yeah, _FEN.
Okay, love that.
It's like playing The Last of Us at the moment.
Fun. Okay, cool. Love that. What are we gonna yell in chat when we get there? Poor Mike.
Yeah, just write poor Mike and nothing else.
Poor Mike. Yeah, that's it. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start this raid.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Make sure to come back on Tuesday for me doing crafting, and make sure to come back next Sunday when I have, I believe it's Wes. I have Wes from Arcane Anthems next week. So
yeah, that'll be fun.
and on that note, bye.